I know that 100% of all of us are tired of seeing good news, great news for crypto, XRP, Bitcoin, whatever, and the prices go down because no matter the amount of good news, tariffs are killing us right now. But this shall pass. And this is a gift for those investors that are wanting to buy something at a deeper price. Guys, it's so good, but not many people get it. I see it in the comments. People don't get it. Most people like me, yeah, you get it, fam. Don't even care. Just keep buying if you can. And that's it. But this message and this video, guys, goes to those because I still have hope for you guys. Look, Donald J. Trump and China right now. I'm going to show you something on Watch a Guru. Pay attention to this. The Treasury Secretary right now says China's escalation was a big mistake. 1. 2. President Trump says China wants to make a deal badly, but they don't know how to get started. $2 trillion added to the stock market at open. And South Korea will not fight back against the U.S. tariffs and seeks to negotiate. White House says that deals to lower tariffs will only be made if it's good for the U.S. workers and trade deficits. Apple is shipping phones. 5 planes full of iPhones to avoid U.S. tariffs. White House says additional 104% tariffs on China went into effect today at noon. White House says America does not need other countries as much as they need us. White House says President Trump will not accept a situation where Wall Street is allowed to run the economy. You guys are following me here? Yeah, I mean, I think, and I'm going to show you another one where BlackRock CEO says, I'm kind of like skeptical and scared a little bit of U.S. stocks. And what I told you yesterday, that BlackRock CEO, Larry Fink, says 20% still on the table for a drop in the market, right? So take a look at all of what's going on right now. And just earlier today, big news for XRP, $1.25 billion acquisition, and it went to 196, and now it's 187. It's okay, man. I get it. It works for me. I'm holding the line. I'm not leaving, but I'm just talking to you guys. Number one, I thank you so much for being here, guys. Leave a like, drop a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know in the comments down below how you are doing, because we believe that better things are ahead. There's the reason why we're in this ecosystem, in this industry. The price of Bitcoin. I'm trying to buy Bitcoin. I'm trying to get my first Bitcoin right now. I'm almost there. So I'm always and every time I can adding. And I know some of you are doing it too, guys. So well done. We're not making a mistake. And no matter how bad things get, world's largest asset manager, BlackRock, says it is increasingly cautious about U.S. stocks. Elon Musk says White House senior trader Peter Navarro is truly a moron and dumber than a sack of bricks. China says that the U.S. isn't serious about trade talks and warns intimidation, threatens, and blackmails are in the way to engage. China and the rest of the world are determined to fight a trade war to the end. So guys, you can only understand like this is a mess, right? Market wise, that there's no end, and we'll see, when it all kind of comes back to normal, but it doesn't look like it's gonna be anytime soon. Therefore, all of the good news that are coming right now are just gonna get inside, and there's so much pressure right now, good news, and the market hasn't really taken it. Eventually, once it's all started expanding, right, it's gonna erupt. We have May, the FOMC meeting, the rates. We'll see what happens. By now, we know that they're still gonna be looking for a pause. But Trump, there's a bunch of conversations with Iran. I was watching the press conference earlier today, and Trump was talking live earlier today from the White House, and you can mix and match politics and crypto right now. As you can tell, they're all so intertwined. But I also want you guys, if you want to get some crypto, get some XRP, get some Bitcoin, click the first link down below and sign up on BTCC, which we have, pretty nice bonuses. If you don't have an exchange to trade, if you don't have an exchange to leverage, this is a place to go and do it. And I know thousands of people who have already signed up and hundreds that are already trading. So appreciate you guys for stopping by. And here it is. This is what's really happening, man. And I'm gonna show you this. It's not true. It's not true, but you can always find anything on the internet, right? And obviously, a lot of people have seen it, but millions of people actually have seen it, or whatever, as many people, because it's not true. But it made me check, and then when looking at the comments, it's like Trump it's kind of crazy to check because Trump is the only president that will actually post something like this. And yesterday, the Chinese embassy in the U.S., which you can check it right now, Chinese embassy, they posted just they tagged Trump with no context. Where is it? Somewhere here. 4 hours. So if I scroll all the way down, you're gonna see it, right? But it's true. I saw it earlier today. I think yesterday. There's a bunch of more, but here it is. So no context. Why? Who knows, right? So there's right now China is obviously looking at the U.S. market, and if you take a look at this, Nasdaq 10% down the last 5 days. S&P 500, down 2 in the last 5 days. We have 10%. Dow Jones in the last 5 days, 9%. So, but it doesn't compare to other different countries like China, Japan, to India and other different spaces. The European index too. So, what Trump is doing is affecting the whole world, but not so much as the U.S. because we're one of the strongest countries, of course, as far as the economy, right? China is also big there, but nobody compares to the U.S. strong market, guys. But it's pretty crazy, and all I'm gonna tell you guys, just we'll continue watching really what things are moving. There's all kinds of great news when it comes to crypto and altcoins, but if Trump continues adding and increasing tensions with China, which seems to be what they're going to be doing for the rest of the week, then more pain, more uncertainty will come. But as soon as we have, as soon as we get some trade talks, which eventually that's how everything's going to end, I'm sure some political and diplomacy, and they're going to sit down, they're going to have a nice meeting. They're going to either, Xi Jinping is going to come to the US or Trump is going to go somewhere in the middle. We'll see. They'll sign something at trade talks and everything's going to go back to normal. That's where I see things going. When that actually happens, then goodbye uncertainty, and then we can actually continue rallying. So before we get to that day, I want to make sure I'm buying the dip and the fear. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I know people don't get it sometimes, and they just see the day-to-day price change, but you open up big picture, it's all going to be fine. Crypto holders, pay attention and do it while it's not too late. Peace.